Now, while we're waiting veracrypt to finish for the other movie we're doing together, let's try and see how we could use veracrypt actually to encrypt the full operating system, like we do with same tools in Windows, let's say, like BitLocker. So what I'm gonna do, I will find out my server. Here it is. I'm gonna make a copy of this, so I'm gonna clone it, and I'm actually use a link clone, which is very fast one. It will be kind of a snapshot. So I'm gonna check the MAC address just in case. I'll say finish, and it will be created almost immediately. So let me move it out of this. So here it is back. And what we will do, I'm gonna start it now. I didn't check the network, but I think I need to change the network. So let me stop this at the moment and change the networking. I could change it at any time, but it's better actually to stop it beforehand. And I'm gonna go and change the network. Yeah, it needs to be not network in that case. And I'm gonna start it back again. So here it is, my Windows server is on. I could actually go and download from my downloads folder. I could go to images, actually it's another crypt, and I could download the veracrypt portable. Here it is. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna put it here in my desktop. Here it is, and I could install the veracrypt now. The same way I did it on my Windows client. I'll accept the license terms and I'll say next. It will be, and it will create it on the. It will create it in my desktop as well. Here it is. It's done almost. It's done. We'll finish. We'll remove this file. We don't need it anymore. And I will start the veracrypt from here. It's a 64-bit edition, so the same way I will start it. So it's not this one, it is this one. Here it is. Now I could use again the same technique like I started before. I'm going to use create a volume, but this time I will choose the LAN which is at the bottom, the system partition or entire system drive. So I'm going to say next. Okay, so it says it needs to be installed. Well, we need to install it in that case. It's very easy. We'll go and we'll install it. So instead of using the portable version, we'll go to this one and we'll download the file. We will download the version which must be installed. So here we are, and we will download the installer. We know already how to check the PGP signatures here. So as soon as it is downloaded, I could go to downloads folder and I could start it from there. Here it is. I will start it from there. I will run it. And I'll do it the same way, but this time it will be installed on my system. So I'm going to say install. So once veracrypt is installed, I will click on the shortcut which has been created, and we'll open the same wizard as before. I'll say create a volume, and I will choose to encrypt the system partition or the entire. Now it's asking you how you want to use it. In that case, I'll use normal only. I'm not gonna create hidden here. I'll say next, and it says either encrypt the whole drive or encrypt the Windows system partition. In my case, I want only Windows system partition to be encrypted, right? So in that case, it's asking me here, it will be a single boot or multi-boot. And that's option obviously will be chosen. The multi-boot will be chosen if you have more operating systems. I have only my own, say single boot. Again, you have all of the additional functions here you might use. And I'll click next on that. I could choose a password. That would be a boot. I'm going to choose as a password because it's a bootable. And of course, I could use I cannot use key file anymore, but I could use some other options here eventually if I already have them available. I'll say yes on that, and I need to move here a little bit again as before. So it's to create a randomly generated and good cipher. Okay, and let's proceed moving. Once that's done, I'll click next here. And what I'll do next will be clicking next. What they're asking you here is to prepare a rescue disk, which obviously we need to put somewhere else afterwards, and to use it in case of emergency if something wrong happened with this system and we are not able to open it. So in that case, I'll say save this disk on my desktop. I will save it on my desktop. Let me just say cancel here. I'll copy this, and again I'll go to desktop and I'll paste what I just copied and I'll say save, and the ISO disk will be created after. So I'm gonna say next here. And I could say I will connect the CD and DVD burner after that. And then I'll click next on the button here. I'll say, it says what will be the way you could basically wipe out. You could read this and see what exactly it is there. There is a pretest here if you want to, and I'll say test it. I'll say OK, and I could restart the computer as they ask. So the test to go and check. So here how it looks like now. When I reboot the computer, it's asking me for a password. So I need to put the password, boot if you remember. I'll click enter. I'll verify the password. And after the verification, successful verification of the password, actually it starts back. So now is the real part of the work where it's encrypting my system. So let's log in. And as you see, the pretest completed. It has been successfully done. So now I could actually do the real stuff. I could say encrypt. I'll say OK. And I need to wait the time which remains eventually to while it's finishing, so afterwards to be able to use it. So I'm going to pause until it is done. So we see that the system partition has been successfully encrypted once the process finishes. Here it is, we'll say OK, we'll say finish on that. And now if we try to reboot, so let's try and reboot once again. There will be no any more test, it will be protected. So if I click start, the same way I could encrypt the partition, right? I could encrypt the partition the same way. So I'm going to say restart. In that case, actually, I encrypted the boot partition. I could encrypt any other partitions which I would have had there. So here it is, restarting. And after the reboot, we need to enter our password, which was boot. Click enter. There is no PIM at this moment. And it will verify the password, and if everything is fine, it basically will decrypt the volume, and it will be started. And here it is. And we're back. So I could say input keyboard, insert control, delete. And here it is. So that showed how to use veracrypt to encrypt, in that case, the system partition, which is the boot partition, which basically allows us to encrypt the full operating system in a way. Thank you for your attention.